Good morning, everybody. Okay, so it is September 21st, Saturday morning. This is your coffee talk, and it's brought to you today by Ultimate Portion Fix, which is the newer program that came out in, I want to say May. Wow, I can't remember what month it came out. Maybe it was April. Anyway, it breaks down nutrition in such a manner that it's easy to understand, super balanced, and super effective, and it talks more about a lot about how you can incorporate this new lifestyle into your life without without just being extreme, like some of the new not new, but some of the fad diets of like cutting food groups out and just or being on a super restricted diet. This is telling you how to have a super healthy diet, balanced and effective. So I love the Ultimate Portion Fix. It comes with it's more like a course, I want to say. It comes with like 30 videos, and I learned so much, which is funny because I had the container system. I had done 21 Day Fix, and I've watched all of Autumn's like YouTube videos and everything. So I did not think I would be learning that much when I watched Ultimate Portion Fix, but man, they schooled me. So I love this program because every single time I have a new customer get started with it, they watch the videos, and within the first 2 videos, they call me or message me and they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. I can't believe I didn't start this right away. I need to do this. Thank you so much for recommending it. So I highly recommend, if you have a chance and you didn't watch Ultimate Portion Fix videos and like purchase the program, to go do it now. So today what we're going to do is we're going to go over we're going to do a workshop, right? And I'm going to ask you a whole lot of questions, and this is going to be like a guided, prompted brainstorm. And by the end of this call, I want you to have a good idea of what your 30-day goals are, and going forward, what your 60 to 6-month goals are. Okay. And we get on this call every week. So when it comes to checking in for an accountability with your nutrition, we can use this call as a check-in as well. So we'll brainstorm that as we go and see what we can do. But we're going to start with doing a self-assessment, a wellness overview, and I want you to grab a pen and paper, and I'm going to do it with you. So I put together all these papers, and I want you to answer these questions in your notebook. Now, because you don't have the work papers like right now, just do little like I'll tell you how to write it down. So first things first, you can write down self-assessment, wellness overview. And this is what I want you to keep in mind when you're doing this. It's a data collection. This is not a time to beat yourself up over your answers. It's not a time to be self-judgy. Okay. I mean, obviously you're assessing yourself, but I don't want you to judge yourself. I want you to kind of be like, take the role of nutritionist or coach on, and that you're just asking your patient questions and you're just collecting data to help them figure out their goals. So be very third party about this. Don't be beating yourself up about it at all, but be as honest as you possibly can. Okay. So first question is the quality of sleep that you normally get for the week. And you can use this week as an example, but if it's a very off week for you, use more of an average, okay, of how you've been doing. So grab your paper, wellness overview. First question, quality of sleep. So quality sleep, and give yourself a 1 to 5, 1 being very poor, 5 being great. Okay. So quality of sleep. So I'm going to give myself a 4. It might be a 3 because I have a toddler that wakes up every night, but whatever. Average hours of sleep you get per night. Just give yourself a number here. You don't have to do 1 to 5. Just say how many average hours you usually get. Now, the ideal is 7 to 9. So if that sounds outrageous, then we need to work on the sleep, right? If it sounds great, like Patty's over there kind of like celebrating, that means she gets 7 to 9 hours, and that's great. She has 7 hours every single night. So I love it. Okay. Here's some questions about meal planning. Do you regularly, on average, usually, so keep that in mind. So this isn't like, oh my gosh, I had an off week. This is normal, like normally, do I schedule time every week for meal planning? Yes or no? So schedule time for meal planning. Yes or no? And then the next question is, do I actually follow that schedule that I created? Yes or no? Do you, same questions for meal prep. Do you schedule time in your calendar for meal prep? And do you actually follow that schedule? I ask that because mine is usually yes and then no. Okay. How do you normally face challenges throughout the day? Like if you might have like a challenge, a more challenging day, do you handle your stress well? That would be a 5. Do you not handle your stress well at all? That would be a 1. So 1 to 5 on this one. So how do you handle stresses that come up throughout the day? Do you celebrate victories? Sorry. 1 to 5. How well do you celebrate victories? So if you did really well today, do you like pat yourself on the back? Do you do something fun? Like if you hit a goal, do you celebrate your victory? So do you celebrate victories? How is your water intake? And your water intake ideally should be half your body weight in ounces a day. So if you weigh 200 pounds, then 100 ounces of water. If you weigh 150 pounds, then it would be 75. I think my math is right on that. It'd be 75 ounces of water a day. Do you regularly get it? You can go 1 to 5 on this one. Oh, I need to work on that one. Do you have sugar cravings throughout the day? 1 to 5. How intense are they? I don't know about you, but I find that Shakeology helps me a ton with that. Anybody else? Just wondering. Awesome. Cool. Okay. Do you have any slip ups throughout the week? Like, for example, did you have more treats than you were planning, or you ate stuff that you really didn't want to, but you ate it anyway? Keep in mind that we normally, in like Ultimate Portion Fix, the foundation plan, we always say like 2 treats per week is kind of like our allotted amount, up to 2 treats a week. So do you have slip ups? A lot of slip ups. So 1 to 5, you can rate yourself on that. And then the next one is, do you punish yourself for those slip ups? Or if you had a slip up, whatever you consider to be a slip up, do you punish yourself for it by like eliminating containers, or not eating as much the next day, or not eating as much of a food group the next day, or doing an extra workout, like punishing yourself by saying, I'm going to run in the morning because I had this at night, like that kind of stuff. You can give yourself a 1 to 5 on that. I gave myself a 2 or 3 because I don't actually punish myself, but I say I'm gonna punish myself sometimes. If I have a slip up, I'll be like, "Well, I'm not gonna have yellow containers tomorrow," and then I have them anyway. But, so it's really not a good like, that's negative thinking, like, I did think that, but I didn't do it, so I gave myself a lower score. Okay, energy. How is your energy throughout the day? Do you wake up with energy, but then exhausted at like 3 p.m.? 1 to 5, how's your energy throughout the day? Patty, you can put any questions in the chat and I'll try to answer them for you if that's okay. How's your energy throughout the day? 1 to 5. Skin. How's your skin feel? Is it too dry, oily, full, and well hydrated? Like, how do you do? How's your skin looking? 1 to 5. And then last question I'm gonna have here is, it's like a bonus question because we're not really talking about fitness, but I want to. So do I have a good workout routine of working out at least 5 days a week, 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week? You can give yourself a 1 to 5 on that. So that should be a really good assessment to see where you're at right now. And Patty, if you have a question that you want to unmute yourself, you can unmute yourself. That's fine.
For the yes or no's with the punishment, I didn't know which way the scale went.
Oh, you could just say like you're doing awesome. You don't punish yourself as a 1 maybe.
Okay.
But honestly, it doesn't matter. It's your own self-assessment. So as long as you understand it, that's all that matters. So
well, I didn't know where you were going with this, so I didn't know if
fine.
we had a final number.
We're not going to count things up, but you can just, write in your answer if you want. I do want it to be a little, I do want it to be understandable, because if you're going to be sending this to your coach or to myself or whoever as like a check-in, then you want it to make sense, right? So use whatever words you need to make it make sense. Awesome. So that is a really good start to a self-awareness. So the next piece that I want you to do is underneath that, have like a blank space that you can write out in words, and I'll give you like 2 minutes. And I want you to really like dive into what a typical day of eating looks like for you. So what does a typical day of food look like? It's best to be totally honest and provide as much detail as possible. So if you do go to work and go past that little candy like container that your administration desk has, and you take one every time you go past, and that's like 5 for the day, or you just grab a handful, make sure you write those things down. Or if you tend to eat like the rest of your kids' lunch, who only took like 8 bites and then there's like 20 left and you ate all of that, make sure you write it down. Like I said, do not punish yourself. Do not beat yourself up about this. This is literally only like a self-assessment to see where you're at, because this is really important to know where you're at currently to be able to make goals for the future. So I'll give you 2 minutes. Keep writing. Be as specific as possible. What time are your meals usually? Make sure you write that down. When's your first meal? When's your last meal? Do you tend to eat at night after dinner? Do you tend to get super busy and skip meals? Just write as much as you can. And due to the sake of time, because I like to try to keep these under half an hour, I might move on before you're done. But I want you to come back to this because it's really important. And it's going to help you kind of notice habits that you tend to have. And if you do this more than once, like do it once a week, you'll find more and more habits. And once you ask yourself the question, like I'm asking you to write it down now, but then maybe Monday you realize you do something, you might not have realized it because you weren't asked the question earlier, if that makes sense. So writing down as much as you can now will also prompt you to, throughout the week, notice little things that you do that you didn't know you did. Okay? So that's really important to write that down. Okay. So now that you have kind of a good awareness of where you're at, we're going to move on to figuring out what our why is to even want to improve. Does that make sense? So we have this here, we have our awareness. Now let's say you have 10, not 10, 5s for all of this, right? Let's say you're like, I freaking rock. I do amazing. I love how fit I am. I love how I eat. I feel super healthy. My energy is high. There's literally not a spot on here that I can improve upon. First of all, that's freaking awesome. Great job. But what I want you to do in your why section is to figure out why is it important for you to stay that way? Because just because you're doing it now doesn't mean you're going to do it when the holidays come, or when stress comes, or when life changes. So write that down. Maybe you're in your, just throwing this out there, maybe you're in your 30s and you're loving life and you're super healthy and whatever. And then you start kind of like being like, I'm doing awesome, so I'm going to start having a glass of wine in the evening, and then I'm going to do this on the weekends, and you slowly start to lose your mojo. Then you can come back to this paper and see how you felt when you had all these 5s, and how you ate super healthy and you felt amazing, your energy was high. So it's really important, even if you are where you want to be, to evaluate this and have a self-assessment and be able to go back to it. Okay, so your why. It's important to understand your why you make your nutrition and food choices you make. Your why is what drives you, and digging deep into your why will help keep you motivated. So in the video of Ultimate Portion Fix, Autumn evaluates this dude named Michael and starts charting out reasons why he wants to become healthier. So he starts writing down a couple of things, and I'll share some of his and I'll share some of mine. And I want you to start just brainstorming. So on a new piece of paper, grab that new piece of paper. I want you to write at the top your whys, and we're going to brainstorm. Okay. Now you can write it like this. She's got a little bubble in the middle. It says why, and you can start putting your whys all around it. Or you could just brainstorm with lists, however, whatever makes you happy in your organization. But for him, he talks about he wanted to lose weight. That was one of the things. He wanted to help with his health issues. And so she dug in a little bit deeper. What are your health issues? And he said he wanted to sleep better and have more energy. He also realized that he had family members who had passed away from heart disease. And so that's a really big piece of it. He's like, I really don't want to be that statistic. Like, I want to be healthier and protect myself for my family. I don't want to leave this earth too soon and leave my family stranded. So that was a big thing of his, afraid of dying. And then he had, she's like, well, why? And he said he wants to live a longer and healthier life and be there for his family. So that was a really big why. He wanted to avoid the mistakes his parents made. So that was a big why for him. For me, I have, if I can find it, there it is. I have written down things like, I want to boost my confidence and my belief in myself to get into the best shape I've ever been in. I want, like, some of these are going to be superficial, right? Like, I want my muscles to pop. I want to look muscular, right? There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. So whatever it is to you, if you want to fit into your skinny jeans, if you want to lose 10 pounds because you just want to look nice in your dress, like, there's nothing wrong with those. But keep asking why. So why else? Why else? And why is that? So just keep asking why. I also want to be proof of what I do. So I help other women live this life, this healthy lifestyle that they want to live. And how could I do that if I'm not showing that I'm living a healthy lifestyle too? So that is really, really big for me. I want to be proof for other people that they can do it as well. I want my brain to work better. And I know that eating healthy and clean and not overeating at like one sitting or having too much of one food group, that will make my brain fog come back. So I want to be able to think clearly and have clarity. And I know that eating well and balanced will do that for me. I also want to be an example for my children. I want them to know, and I want them and other ladies to know that they don't have to do crash diets. They don't have to cut out all carbs. They don't have to go keto to lose weight or be healthy. And that's really important for me to share, because I have done that many times myself, and it's miserable. So those are my whys. Okay, so then you're going to take that brainstorm and you're going to write one clear answer as to why. And I'll give you Michael's. He said, I am doing the Ultimate Portion Fix, or insert to be mindset, or whatever nutrition plan that you're using from ours, because I'm afraid of dying early. And that was like a super impactful one for him as well. He said, both my parents died because of their unhealthy choices. And I want to change my behavior and start making more healthful choices for myself. When my emotions start to overwhelm me, I want to not reach for food, but learn to reach out to friends or go for a walk. That's impactful, what he wrote. And interesting enough, he probably started his brainstorm with saying, I want to lose weight, right? So I might start with my brainstorm saying, I want to like have my muscles pop and get in the best shape of my life. But when you keep asking why and digging deeper, you start realizing why do I want to do that? What is the deeper reason? And that's what he came up with. So he might have started with lose weight, but he realized it came from a place of wanting to be there for his children and not dying early like his parents did, and making those same unhealthy choices. So that's your why. I hope you guys came out with an awesome why. And we're going to move on. And like I said, if this is too fast and you're watching the replay, just press pause. If you're here live, then just come back to the video afterwards and keep going through your prompts, because these are so important for you to create your goals. Okay, so we did that one, we did that one, we did why. Now there's a couple questions I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to go rapid fast with them because it's going to lead to our actual short-term and long-term goals. So start jotting down some answers, and you don't have to write down the question, just write down the answer in a way that you'll know what the question was. So what is my definition of health and sound nutrition and wellness? Like, what is the utopian of health to me? So like for myself, for me, health and nutrition means I have high energy throughout the day, sustained energy. I visibly look within like a range. I don't have too much body fat on me. I sorry, I'm not getting as sick as often. I can go through the winter without, constantly getting sick. My energy, I said, and I'm eating clean, and I know I'm fueling my body with clean, mostly plants foods. Okay, so for me, that's wellness. My mind is clear. I'm able to be calm in the moment. Those are all my definitions. Does your current lifestyle help or hinder your nutrition and wellness? You can answer that. How will it improve my nutrition and help improve my health and my how will improving my nutrition help with improving my health and relationship with food? I hope that makes sense. How will improving my nutrition help improve my health and my relationship with food? There we go. That makes more sense. Now I'm going to go much quicker. Okay. How will improving, nope, I answered that. What fears do I have about becoming healthier and improving my nutrition? So do I have any fears around this? What am I afraid of? What will it feel like if I improve and when I improve my nutrition? If one of these questions really don't you don't think you have a great answer, just skip it. What does a good day of eating look like and feel like to me? That's a really good one to answer. What limiting beliefs do I have of myself? Like, do you ever say like, I don't think I'll ever be able to lose the 50 pounds. I don't think I'll ever fit into a size 6. Like, what kind of limiting beliefs do you have? I don't think I'll ever be able to quit smoking. I don't think I'll ever be able to give up soda. I don't think, like, these are limiting beliefs. So write down as many as you can think. Do I believe I deserve a healthy and to be healthy? Do I deserve to be healthy? And do I deserve to have a good relationship with food? This is a really kind of deep question, but it's a really good question. Do I look at food as a reward or punishment? Do I have a support system around me that encourages me to live a healthier lifestyle, including exercise, nutrition? And if not, if I don't, am I willing to reach out to others to build up that community around me? Guys, I did not have that community until I started coaching. And then coaching helped me educate myself on how to build up a community around me, which is really huge. What circumstances or excuses keep me from living a healthy lifestyle? How can I set a healthy lifestyle for my family? When I have fun, like recreationally, is it healthy or self-sabotaging? What could I do differently to make my lifestyle and playtime more health conscious? This is really important, because some people have the mindset, and I know I did in the past, that if I'm having fun, it's got to include certain things that aren't good for me, that self-sabotage my progress. And now I try really, really hard to base things around things that are going to be more health conscious. How can I be more knowledgeable about my nutrition and fitness? Who are my advisors about nutrition and fitness? And who would I love to have on my team of advisors? So that's really, you can call them advisors, mentors, coaches, whatever. Okay, and then last question. What are my most important goals regarding nutrition and health? Okay, so once you've completed those, we're going to look back on all of the data that we collected, okay? And we're not going to beat ourselves up over this, right? Now, here's a little bit of a difficult thing. You wrote down a lot there, and you could easily take all that information and be like, well, in 30 days, I want to, and have a list that's like 8 million years long. But I want you to know something. The smallest steps that you take and actually implement will then move into step number 2, right? And then step number 2, you take it, you implement it, and move it into step number 3. And if you do it that way without overwhelming yourself at first, you will be able to hit your goals in the amount of time that you would like, okay? So I want you to start with your 30-day goals. So on a different piece of paper, I want you to put your 30-day goals down. And I want you to start with week 1, and then week 2, and week 3, and week 4. And keep in mind what I said about starting small and implementing it. So maybe week 1, literally, if you're just starting right out of the gate, like literally have so much to change, you're just starting to change your lifestyle, week 1 might be drinking enough water every day. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to be doing your new workout every day. It doesn't mean you're not going to try to follow the containers every day. It doesn't mean those things. What it means is that it's the one thing that you know you're not going to stop. You're not going to give up on. You're not going to self-sabotage. You're going to keep that one thing, the main focus, so that if for some reason you did drop like a day or whatever and you didn't eat what you were supposed to or whatever, you're going to be like, but I stayed with my water. And you're going to do that every single day for 7 days, okay? And once you do that, then week 2, you can add a new thing. And you just wrote down all the things that you wanted to change so that you're not going to have a problem figuring that out, right? But I want you to start small, pick one thing and stick with it for a week, an entire week, and then add the other small thing. And lastly, I want you to make sure you have somebody to check in with, okay? So let's say it's your coach, a good friend, an accountability partner, whoever it is. You make sure you tell them the one thing that you're going to change this week, and ask them to message you throughout the week to see how you're doing. And then you get back to them at the end of the week and tell them how well you did and what's the new thing that you're going to add. This is so crucial, guys. And like I said, it's not like you're not changing everything else. It's just that you're going to make sure that that one thing is your main focus. So Marla, you started 100 Morning Meltdown 100, right? And you're on day 52. I think that's what you said. That is amazing. Like, fitness is now a part of your life and you're not going to stop working out, right? So now you have that settled down, and you've probably been working on other things too. But if you focused on making sure you were doing that one workout every day for 100 days, right? But now I feel like that's already part of your lifestyle. So you can add one more thing on for a week and add those 2 things, right? Now you have those 2 things to work on. And you can check in with Kaylee and be like, this is the one thing I am definitely working on this week. And then the next week you check in with her, tell her, and she's really good at checking in with people. I love that girl. So make sure you're telling her specifically the one thing that you are, no matter what, going to do and then add on the next thing. I hope that makes sense. So that's your short-term goals. Your long-term goals, I want you to really kind of dive in and do 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 6 months, and 1 year. I'm going to say it again. 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 6 months, and 1 year. The longer out you have a goal, the more generic you're going to make it. So like, for example, 6 months might be, I want to lose 30 pounds within 6 months, right? 30 days might be, I'm going to be soda free in 30 days and be doing a workout every day for 30 days. 60 days, you just make it more generic as you go along, but make it so that you have something that you're reaching for. And then lastly, another thing that you can do to set goals, and this works really, really well for me, is find something that's happening soon, but not too soon, that you can set a goal and get excited about. So recently I have been, this works really well for events. I was looking for some kind of motivation and I needed something that was in a short time frame, and I realized that my birthday was 6 weeks away. And I was like, oh my gosh, that could be the thing. That could be the thing that I'm gonna do this for 6 weeks leading up to my birthday, and then I'm gonna celebrate on my birthday, right? And I'm gonna do something fun and maybe like do a photo shoot. I don't know. That sounds more expensive, but something cheaper. And and I'm gonna celebrate my victory. But I'm going to share the heck out of it with everybody. I'm gonna tell everybody my goal for my birthday, and I'm gonna just share on social media, and it's gonna hold me accountable. That's what's gonna be my accountability thing. So find some kind of event and something that you can work really hard towards and make that your short-term goal. So my short-term goal is my birthday. It's October 28th. And my goal is to follow timed nutrition between now and then. And I can have up to 2 treats a week with that timed nutrition. So I'm really, really excited for you guys. That was a lot to go over, but that's why I'm hoping that you can go back over it multiple times. Come up with your answers. I would love to see them. So if you have them, get a hold of the coach or the person who brought you here and make sure you like brainstorm with them and show them what you have. But I would love to see it as well. So when you come up with your 30-day goals and then your long-term vision, please send it to me because I would love, love, love to see it. And let me know how this could might have helped you, because I would love that too. If you have any topics that you want to be covered in the future, please let me know. Or if you want to hear from a certain coach or somebody who's been an inspiration to you, let me know. I'll contact them and see if we can interview them. Now, my time is running out. I literally have 3.5 minutes left. But you can unmute yourself and ask me any questions, and I would love to answer them for you. Does anybody have any questions? Boo, boo, boo. No. Okay, great. Did this help anybody? I find that awesome. I find that these are things that we already know half the time. We're like, yeah, I know how to make goals. I know how to do this. The problem is we don't create the time to do it. And then we don't create the time to review it and go over it. So if we do this pretty often together and have an accountability buddy, then you should be able to stay on task and on track with your goals. And the more we talk to people about it, then the more it's going to be in our head and we're not going to forget it. How many times have we created a goal and totally forgot about it? I have. So this will help you stay on track. And awesome. Mia said yes too. Cool, guys. Thank you so much for joining me this morning on Coffee Talk. And let me know if you have any other topics that you'd like to be covered. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you later.